Have you ever wondered why, despite eating healthy and staying active, your legs seem to get weaker as the years pass? You're not alone in this. Many older adults believe that all fruits are beneficial because they're natural. However, there's a surprising truth that's seldom discussed. Not all fruits are suitable for seniors, especially those over the age of 60. In fact, some fruits might be silently weakening your leg strength, contributing to pain, inflammation, and even mobility difficulties. The foods we consume play a crucial role in the health of our muscles, joints, nerves, and blood circulation, particularly in our legs. For seniors, the wrong types of fruit can be the difference between a vibrant, active life and one hampered by pain, weakness, and dependence. It's time to identify the 7 worst fruits that seniors should avoid, and to understand how they can adversely affect your leg health. Before we dive in, if you haven't already subscribed to Timeless Wisdom, I recommend you do so now by hitting that subscribe button and turning on notifications to ensure you never miss another health tip made just for you. If you find this video helpful, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 to let me know how I can make our content better for you. 1. Pineapple, the silent trigger of inflammation. Many seniors believe pineapple is a healing fruit, often praised for its enzyme, bromelain, said to help with digestion and inflammation. But what most people over 60 don't know is that this tropical fruit can quietly become a serious enemy to your legs, especially if consumed regularly. The truth is hidden beneath its sweetness. As we age, our bodies become more sensitive to natural sugars and acidic compounds, both of which pineapple contains in high amounts. When these sugars flood your system, they cause spikes in blood sugar, which over time damages the tiny blood vessels that nourish your legs, the very vessels that keep your calf muscles strong, your knees flexible, and your feet stable. This isn't about calories, it's about inflammation and how sugar and acid stir up the perfect storm inside an older body. What starts as a little soreness in your thighs or a dull ache in your knees might seem harmless, but for many seniors, daily pineapple snacks slowly create a chronic inflammatory state, especially in people already dealing with arthritis, joint stiffness, or poor circulation. You may feel more swollen in the ankles, standing may seem harder, your legs may fatigue more quickly. And that's not just aging, that's a reaction. Even more concerning, pineapple's bromelain can interfere with medications commonly used by seniors, like blood thinners, making inflammation worse and even increasing bruising or leg weakness. The effects can be subtle at first, which is why it's so dangerous. You think you're making a healthy choice, but you're unknowingly feeding the fire inside your joints. So the next time you reach for a sweet slice of pineapple, ask yourself, is this fruit really helping your body, or is it holding it back? But pineapple is just the beginning. What if we told you that one of the most popular muscle-friendly fruits might actually be draining your strength, bite by bite? Let's talk about bananas. 2. Bananas, the muscle. Imposter. For decades, bananas have been praised as the go-to fruit for muscle support, especially because of their potassium content. Many seniors trust them as a daily staple, a soft, easy-to-digest snack that seems perfect for aging bodies. But what if I told you that this familiar yellow fruit might actually be undermining the very strength you're trying to protect? As we grow older, the body's ability to process sugar and starch changes. Bananas, particularly ripe ones, are high in natural sugars and quick-burning carbohydrates, which convert rapidly to glucose. When that sugar hits your bloodstream, it doesn't just raise energy, it triggers insulin spikes, which over time contribute to insulin resistance, weight gain around the legs and belly, and worst of all, weaken circulation to your lower limbs. That means less oxygen and fewer nutrients reach your leg muscles, making them fatigue faster, recover slower, and grow weaker with each passing week. You might notice your legs feel heavy, especially after meals. You may experience tightness in your calves or a strange ache when climbing stairs. It's subtle at first, but it builds, especially if bananas are part of your daily routine. And unlike youth, your senior body doesn't bounce back overnight. With age, even healthy-looking choices like bananas can become silent saboteurs. What's even more alarming is how bananas can increase water retention in some seniors, especially those with heart conditions. That fluid settles in the ankles and feet, creating swelling that makes movement painful and balance more difficult. You're not just tired, you're weighed down. We've all been told that bananas give us strength, but maybe it's time to ask, is that strength real, or is it just a short burst before the crash? And if bananas, long considered a safe fruit, are quietly harming your legs, imagine what tiny grapes might be doing to your joints and feet. Let's take a closer look. 3. Grapes, tiny fruit, big inflammatory. Impact. At first glance, grapes seem innocent, even comforting. They're soft, bite-sized, and often associated with heart health and longevity. Many seniors keep them on the counter or in the fridge, thinking they're making a light, healthy choice. But behind that sweet skin lies a quiet threat, one that can slowly eat away at your leg strength, mobility, and daily comfort without making a sound. The danger lies in fructose, the natural sugar that gives grapes their addictive sweetness. Unlike glucose, which your body uses as energy, fructose is processed in the liver, where it's more likely to be converted into fat and uric acid. For older adults, this can quickly become a problem, especially if you're already dealing with joint pain, stiffness, or fatigue in your lower body. When uric acid builds up, it settles in the joints, and it doesn't take much to trigger an attack. Gout, one of the most painful conditions for aging legs and feet, often begins with a seemingly harmless indulgence, a small bowl of grapes. But the result can be devastating: swelling, burning, and sharp pain in the toes, ankles, or knees, often at night when you're trying to rest. Even without gout, high fructose fruits like grapes amplify inflammation. For a senior body already under stress, that inflammation is like pouring gasoline on a smouldering fire. What makes grapes even more deceptive is how easily we overeat them. You don't need a large portion, just a handful here, a few while watching TV, some with breakfast, and the sugar quickly adds up. The effects may not show immediately, but over time your legs begin to tell the story. Tender joints, tight calves, slower movement, and a growing discomfort that no one else can see, but you feel every time you try to rise from a chair. So, if something as small and sweet as grapes can have such an outsized impact, what about fruits that seem refreshing yet are hiding even more sugar? You might be surprised at the truth about watermelon. If you're still watching and finding these insights valuable, please comment 1 below to let me know you're here. Now, let's keep going with point number 4. 4. Watermelon. The false hydrator. There's something nostalgic about watermelon. It reminds us of summer picnics, childhood joy, and the simple pleasure of a cool, juicy slice on a warm day. For many seniors, it feels like the perfect fruit, full of water, refreshing, easy on the teeth. But beneath that sweetness lies a harsh truth. Watermelon may be silently working against your leg strength, and worse, you might not even realize it. The problem isn't just the sugar, it's how fast that sugar floods your system. Watermelon has one of the highest glycemic indexes among fruits, which means it causes your blood sugar to spike rapidly. For seniors, especially those managing pre-diabetes, diabetes, or sluggish circulation, that spike isn't just a number, it's a red flag. When blood sugar rises too fast, inflammation follows, and your lower limbs, already more vulnerable with age, begin to suffer the consequences. You may notice your legs feel unusually tired after meals, or that a gentle walk leaves your calves aching. This isn't always aging. Often, It's the sugar rushing through your bloodstream, causing oxidative stress and irritating the delicate nerves and blood vessels that keep your legs moving. Even more, the body responds to sugar overload by retaining fluid. And where does that fluid go? To the soft tissues, your ankles, your knees, your feet, all places where movement begins to hurt and stairs start to feel steeper than they used to. Watermelon tricks us because it tastes light, but it behaves like candy inside the body. For those over 60, whose systems process sugar more slowly and recover less efficiently, it can quietly accelerate the loss of mobility. One slice here, a few cubes there, and soon your legs are telling you something's not right. But if watermelon, a fruit made mostly of water, can cause this much trouble, what about fruits that are packed with acid and claim to boost your immune system? The next one on the list may surprise you. It's probably sitting in your fridge right now. 5. Oranges, the acidic assault on joints. Oranges have long been celebrated as a symbol of health, packed with vitamin C associated with cold prevention and often recommended as part of a balanced diet. Many seniors begin their day with a glass of orange juice, believing they're doing something good for their bodies. But as comforting as this habit may feel, the truth is far more complicated and far more dangerous for aging legs and joints than most people realize. Behind the bright color and tangy taste, oranges carry a high concentration of citric acid, a compound that, in excess, can aggravate inflammation in the body, especially in the joints. For older adults who already live with arthritis, bursitis, or general joint sensitivity, this acid can act like sandpaper on already fragile cartilage. The result? A creeping stiffness in your knees when you wake up, a soreness in your hips that lingers throughout the day, that familiar feeling of your legs locking up after sitting too long. It's subtle until it's not. But acid isn't the only issue. Oranges, and especially orange juice, are also high in natural sugars, which, when consumed frequently, begin to disrupt your body's insulin balance. This can lead to systemic inflammation, which doesn't just attack joints, it affects muscles, blood vessels, and connective tissues, particularly in the lower body. Over time, seniors may notice not only joint pain, but also reduced range of motion, swelling around the knees or ankles, and increasing instability when walking or standing. It's easy to think a fruit so fresh and familiar couldn't possibly be harmful, but the body in your 60s, 70s, and beyond doesn't recover like it once did. The same orange that once energized you might now be slowing you down. And if this common breakfast fruit is silently wearing down your joints, imagine what a deceptively healthy green apple could be doing, especially one that bites back harder than you think. 6. Green apples, a hidden source of leg pain. Green apples carry the image of purity and health. Their crisp texture and tart flavour often appeal to those looking for a cleaner fruit, something less sugary, something refreshing. For many seniors, a green apple a day feels like a smart, responsible choice. But few realise that beneath that bright skin lies a harsh combination of acidity and sugar that can quietly undermine the strength and comfort of your legs. What makes green apples particularly troubling is their high malic acid content, a natural compound that can be difficult for aging digestive systems to process. While malic acid is sometimes praised for energy support, in large or frequent amounts, it may trigger inflammation, especially in those already managing arthritis or fibromyalgia. That inflammation doesn't just settle in the stomach, it can radiate to the hips, thighs, knees, and even down into the feet, creating aching, burning, or stiffness that feels like it's coming from within the muscles themselves. But it's not just the acid. Green apples also contain natural sugars, and for seniors with slower metabolism and reduced insulin sensitivity, even small amounts of sugar can lead to blood sugar swings. These fluctuations interfere with circulation and, over time, reduce oxygen flow to the legs. What you're left with is fatigue in the calves, a feeling of weakness when climbing stairs, or a deep ache after only short walks. And because green apples are often eaten raw, on an empty stomach, or as a snack, the effects can be even more intense. You may not link your daily apple to your nightly leg cramps or your morning stiffness, but when the body starts sending quiet signals, it's time to listen. Pain is never random. It's often a reaction to something we thought was safe. So if something as seemingly harmless as a green apple can stir up so much discomfort, wait until you hear about the tropical fruit that's been praised for its sweetness, yet quietly flooding your joints with sugar. 7. Mango, the sugar bomb for your joints. There's no denying the pleasure of a ripe mango. Its golden flesh, sweet fragrance and creamy texture often bring back memories of warmer days and family gatherings. For many seniors, mango feels like a tropical escape, a treat to enjoy without guilt. But beneath that smooth sweetness lies one of the most concentrated sources of natural sugar in the fruit world. And for aging bodies, especially your legs and joints, that sweetness comes at a steep cost. One medium mango can contain upwards of 45 grams of sugar, more than a standard can of soda. This level of sugar causes your blood glucose to spike rapidly, and while your younger self may have handled it with ease, the senior body doesn't respond the same way. With age, insulin function slows, and sugar lingers in the bloodstream longer, leading to widespread inflammation, particularly in soft tissues like knees, ankles, and hip joints. What follows is a creeping heaviness in the legs, an uncomfortable swelling around your feet, and a loss of muscular endurance that can leave you breathless after only short distances. Even more troubling, mango sugar can aggravate nerve endings, especially in those with diabetes or early neuropathy. That burning sensation in your feet at night, the tingling in your toes, it may not be just old age, it might be that healthy fruit you had after dinner. And because mango feels light and fresh, it's easy to overeat without noticing. But your body keeps score, and your legs, the very limbs that carry your independence, are the first to suffer. So, before you reach for that next mango smoothie or tropical fruit bowl, ask yourself, is the sweetness worth the slow, steady damage it leaves behind? Because while these 7 fruits may surprise you, the real danger lies in how they add up over time, often without a single warning. But don't worry, you're not powerless. Let's now turn to the solution. The fruits that help rebuild leg strength, reduce inflammation, and bring lasting energy back into your life. 8. What should seniors eat instead? When we discover that the fruits we trusted may have been silently working against us, it's natural to feel frustrated, even betrayed. But knowledge is power, and with it comes the opportunity to shift, to choose more wisely, and to give our bodies what they truly need in this sacred chapter of life. Because aging is not about giving up. It's about learning how to live better, with intention, clarity, and care. For seniors, especially those who feel the aches of time settling into their legs, the answer isn't to abandon fruit altogether. Instead, it's about choosing fruits that heal, not harm, ones that nourish without overwhelming your system, that support circulation, ease inflammation, and give you the strength to rise, to walk, to move with freedom once again. Start with berries, nature's true anti-inflammatory powerhouses. Blueberries, raspberries, and blackberries are rich in antioxidants, low in sugar, and gentle on your blood sugar. They work quietly in the background, protecting your cells, soothing inflamed joints, and boosting circulation, especially to the lower limbs. Cherries, in moderation, offer similar relief, especially for those battling gout or arthritis. Their compounds help lower uric acid and reduce flare-ups that can steal your mobility without warning. Then there's the quiet power of avocados, creamy, satisfying, and filled with healthy fats that cushion your joints and reduce internal swelling. Unlike sugary fruits, avocados help regulate insulin, keeping energy levels stable throughout the day. They don't spike you, they support you. Papaya too is a gentle ally. Its enzymes aid digestion, its vitamins ease inflammation, and its texture is easy on the aging digestive tract. For those who've grown weary of hard fruits and acidic bites, papaya offers calm, comfort, and strength. Even pears, when eaten in moderation and paired with protein or fibre, can offer gentle sweetness without the crash, supporting your body, not burdening it. At this stage of life, your food should work with you, not against you. Every bite is a choice toward strength or away from it, toward clearer mornings, easier steps, and the kind of peace that comes from knowing your body is being cared for, not just fed. And it all begins with the fruit you choose to keep and the ones you finally decide to let go. Final thoughts from one senior to another. As someone who has journeyed through many seasons of life, through challenges, healing, strength, and pain, I want to connect with you not just as a writer, but as a fellow traveller. Aging isn't simple. No one really prepares us for the subtle battles, the stiffness in our knees, the leg fatigue from minimal activity, or the fear of losing mobility as we age. However, if there's one lesson life has imparted, it's that we're never too old to make new choices, to opt for better. We've always heard that fruit is beneficial. Raised on the food pyramid, surrounded by advice from doctors and neighbours alike, eat your fruit, it keeps you healthy. While largely true in our youth, when our bodies were more resilient, now in our 60s, 70s, 80s, and even 90s, we must be more attuned to what our bodies need. The fruits discussed today aren't inherently bad like junk food, but for aging bodies, for our legs, our joints, and our slower systems, they can subtly undermine what matters most: our strength, our balance, and our pain-free mobility. For seniors, the ability to walk is paramount. It symbolises independence, dignity, and freedom. You don't need to completely revamp your diet immediately, but you can start to make mindful changes. Shift away from foods that trigger inflammation to those that provide healing. Select fruits that sustain energy without overwhelming your body. Notice how you feel after eating, not just the immediate taste, but how your body responds later. This awareness is a form of wisdom, and at our age, it's invaluable. If you're feeling overwhelmed, remember, you've not failed. There's no guilt here, only opportunities for clarity and taking small, yet significant steps towards a more robust and stable you. Aging doesn't mean the end of growth. Indeed, it marks the beginning of a profoundly intentional and meaningful phase. So, from one senior to another, I encourage you. Look after your legs, your overall health, and your future by carefully choosing what you consume. You deserve ease of movement, pain-free mornings, and a future filled with quality living. This isn't just about extending life, it's about enhancing the quality of life. And that transformation begins today with every choice you make, with every bite you take. These insights are here to inspire you to live fully and authentically. I'd love to hear from you. Reflect and share something you've learned and how you plan to implement it in your life. Let's support each other on this journey of embracing these truths. If this video resonated with you, please leave a comment with 1. If not, comment 0. Your feedback is invaluable to us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more insights like these. Thank you for watching Timeless Wisdom, and here's to living life on your own terms.